Welcome back, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
We're on number 19 and 20 in the context section. Okay, so they are appearance and attraction and wealth and success. And so just a reminder that these are just, we're exploring what up is, and in order to understand it better, we're putting it into all of these contexts to be able to talk about it in ways that maybe you will be familiar. Because if you're not familiar with what up is, if we put it into context you're familiar with, it'll start to make more and more sense. All right, so appearance and attraction. So I love this one because it says, well, it won't matter to the hero's happiness or self-worth. Up approves appearance and attractiveness on multiple levels. So it's really true. Like I had a really big transformation where I used to I didn't like the way I looked, and I used to think about the way I looked through what I thought were other people's perspectives, and I would put thoughts in their head saying they didn't think I was very attractive. And that whole mess is gone. It's cleaned up.
Clean up this mess.
Clean up this mess.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a non-issue. It's like none of that is happening. None of that self-evaluation and finding lack and then trying to think that other people see lack, like none of that. And I can tell you some of the steps in my process, but they would be boosts. So they're the things that I did to kind of create good feeling, but blaming it on my environment still. And so I could tell you about them, but yours would be different. And so all of us will come up with boosts along the way until we don't need them anymore. And that's when it gets really exciting. We don't need the boosts. Yeah.
So when you're translating this, put into words maybe even kind of where you're at with this one and where it seems like you would be if you made it unconditional. And then when we get to stage 3, if this is an area you want to work on, that's one of the areas you can pick. And
yes,
that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's so cool. But you really do, like, it improves your appearance and attractiveness. You're like, well, it doesn't matter as much now what I look like, but it improves it because whatever eating style, exercise style, health choices you make will be easy and effortless. So those will just make you look better and more healthy. And then also when you I had a really good thought. So it makes it so that you don't, it's not as much about what you're thinking about how you look, because you just bring,
you get out of your own way.
Yeah.
You can connect with people more, and
yeah,
is that what you're talking about? Yeah. You can get out of your way, and then
and you feel good about, well, you don't need to feel good about things anymore.
You just feel good.
You just feel good.
And then you interact with things.
Yes.
And people, and connect.
There's no I'm happy because, I'm sad because. Yeah. We just snip that connection, and then it's just, I feel good in the context of this. Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Cool.
Yep. Okay, so then wealth and success. And we quote Richard Branson, and you can read that, but you can imagine.
Yeah, it's just another area to play in.
Yep, it's just another way you can use your external and interact with your external environment in an optimal way to bring about results that are super cool, but that don't make you more happy, even though they're super cool, and they give you more options. Like having more money gives you more options, and then
you can use it in the positive ways that you've decided when you're. Yeah. It's just like it's a virtuous cycle. Yeah. And it's interesting because it avoids the pitfalls of people who chase the wealth and success in order to get the good feelings. Yeah. Because you see so much evidence of people who thought the wealth and success, the fame, those things would bring them those good feelings. And then when they didn't, once you worked all that way to get to the top and then it didn't bring those feelings, it's crushing. Yeah. Crushing. Because can you imagine, like, if you just felt like if you had this much money, then you'd be happy, and then once you got there and you weren't happy, then what else is there? Like, it would be really hard. But if you start with the good, start with the good feeling, and then you build up the success and the wealth, and then you just find wonderful ways to apply it. Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
and we're going to talk about this more in stage 3, but I just wanted to bring it up a tiny bit. And that is, once you've unlinked your happiness, you're not doing that I'm happy about, I'm sad about this. You're instead just bringing optimal to everything. When you're doing that more and more and more, then you can step into new areas of life where previously you wouldn't have.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, like things there are things you can just avoid. If they're going to be a trigger, or you connected your happiness to it, there are things in life you can just avoid. You can just say, I'm not going to do that thing. And then once you start to get better and better, and so you're further on in your journey, you'll start to look at those areas that you said complete no to, and you can start looking at them again and say, well, what if I tried it now and brought an optimal state into this new thing? Then it's an amazing experience, because you're continuing on your journey. But also, what I wanted to say about wealth is it's very measurable. It's a result that you can look to do that's very measurable. Some of the other things are less measurable because they're not just numbers. And so we'll talk about this more in the next section.
Yeah, okay.
But I just wanted to just say that it's more of an application. Like up in context of money, I can measure the money, and then also if I'm optimal.
Yeah, it's a good feedback loop for that.
Yeah,
We'll talk way more about that.
Yeah. So it might sound a little confusing right now, so consider it just a preview.
Like giving little teasers, little previews.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay.
Cool. All right.
Take care, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.